Hi, my name is Voltaire Lepe. I'm a local real estate agent here in the market, and you might have heard me on ESPN Talk Radio discussing several real estate topics. I'm most known for creating and designing a unique 7-step system that guarantees to give the buyer an unfair advantage when looking for a home. Now, I decided to provide this free web series for you, and I named it 7 Secrets Revealed on How to Beat Out Multiple Buyers While Paying Less for Your Dream Home. I specifically designed this program because I was tired of seeing multiple buyers get beaten out by cash investors and people that really shouldn't deserve a chance to beat out people that were going to live in the community and make their home with their family. So sit up, grab a pen and a notepad, and get ready to learn the secrets that I learned from selling my unfair share of homes over a 10-year span. So let's get started. Now, all these tips are very powerful alone, but when combined, it almost guarantees that your offer is going to get accepted. The most powerful of these tips, from my experience, is secret number 6 and secret number 7, which will be in the video series on the third part of this video. Now, let's talk about the first secret, okay? Now, the first secret is to write a love letter to the seller. Now, you might be thinking in your head, what the heck is a love letter? Well, a love letter is just an introduction that you give to the seller, introducing yourself, who you are, why you want to buy the home. It kind of looks something like this. So if you can see that, this is from one of my clients. It has a nice family photo. It tells them exactly why they should get chosen above the other competitors, and sometimes at a better price. Okay. Now, most people, including sellers, okay, are good by nature. They want to do a favor for someone, especially if they have a connection or know that person. Now, the mistake that a lot of buyers and agents tend to do or to overthink is, they want to overpay for properties. And the reason why they do that is because they figure that most sellers want to choose the highest offer. Now, that's not always the case. There's a lot of emotions involved when selling a property. And there's other factors affecting exactly what the seller would prefer other than price. Okay? So that's a big mistake that a lot of people just assume right off the bat. Now, a lot of sellers also, they want to know who they're dealing with. I get this question all the time from my sellers. Whenever I present any offers to them from buyers, they ask, well, who's the buyers? What are they about? And a lot of times I can't even answer that question because I have no clue. Most buyers do not send a love letter like this to the seller. They just simply send over an offer and a pre-qualification letter. Now, the other thing too is you could use the same love letter once you're already in escrow, and let's say you do your inspections and you find that there's something wrong with the property and you want to ask for repairs. You can use a love letter to actually accomplish this goal of having the seller do repairs to the property that you're buying. All right, well, let's go on to the next secret, secret number 2, okay? And this secret is increase your earnest money deposit. Now, a lot of you guys might think it's a no-brainer, have a good earnest money deposit, but what you'll find is that 90% of all buyers offer earnest money deposit between $1,000 to $3,000, which isn't a big chunk at all. Now, a quick disclaimer: I would only suggest using this when you're represented by a buyer's agent. Okay, so if you're writing the offer on your own, or if you have a seller's agent represent you, I wouldn't recommend increasing the deposit just because it's kind of risky. So if you're represented by a buyer's agent with lots of experience and they know the contract inside and out, then this is a very good strategy to help you beat out multiple buyers and paying less. Now, let's go back to the reasons why you need to increase your deposit. Again, if you write a deposit with a low amount, $1,000 to $3,000 into the contract, then really what that's telling the seller is that you're not motivated, you're not serious, and that they should be warned ahead of time that you might cancel the deal. And the reason why is because what you're doing is you're offering them a $1,000 deposit to $3,000 deposit, and you're asking for certain days to do your inspections. And after that time frame is up, you're telling the seller, hey, look, if I cancel within my time frames, I keep my deposit. But if I cancel after my time frame, then you could keep the $1,000. But at the same time, the seller loses valuable time with the property being off the market. Okay, so you could kind of understand why cash investors, to sellers at least in their eyes, are the best type of buyers, because they offer a high deposit, 2 to 3% of the purchase price, or $5,000 minimum. Okay, and they have shorter time frames to investigate the property's condition. So now the last point I want to make, again, reiterate that make sure that your agent protects your deposit so you won't lose it. If you're writing up an offer and that doesn't happen, then you can lose your deposit, and it's not going to be pretty. So again, this is the 2 secrets for today, and I hope you use them out there when you're writing up offers and looking at homes. And please be on the lookout for my next email with the next secrets. Okay, and if you have any questions, feel free to call us at 619-300-9675. And the last thing I want to mention is you could always call in and ask for the free report that we offer with all 7 secrets. Okay, all you have to do is call 619-300-9675. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, and welcome back. Again, it's Voltaire Lepe. I'm the team manager for the Lepe Team Realty Group. And thanks for coming back, tuning in. I hope you use the first 2 secrets of our of the first part of our 3-part video series to help you get a home. But if you're looking at this video, you probably haven't got a home yet. So let's go on to secret number 3. Okay. Now, secret number 3 is to shorten all your time periods and contingency removal. Now, what that means is, if you're out there looking at homes and writing up offers, you know what that means. For those of you that are still not actually out there looking at homes or writing up offers, basically a quick synopsis is when you write up an offer to buy a home, you have a certain amount of days to investigate the condition of the property. Meaning do your home inspection, bring out your contractors, make sure that the condition is in good condition and acceptable condition to you. Now, most buyers ask for 17 days to do these inspections, and on the end of the 17th day, they have the decision to make whether they're moving ahead with the purchase or whether they're canceling the purchase and getting their deposit back. Okay, now let's say on the 17th day everything is okay and they move forward with the purchase and they cancel any day after that, they can lose their deposit, their earnest money deposit. So basically with a 17-day contingency period, which is normal in this marketplace, to ask for, what you're telling the seller is, hey, Mr. Seller, what I'm requesting of you is I'm requesting that I have 17 days to do all my inspections, and on the 17th day I could cancel and cancel our deal and go look for another property. And by the way, Mr. Seller, those 17 days that I was inspecting your property, you just lost on the market, 17 days of marketability and marketing your property. So that's what you're telling the seller. Now, for a lot of sellers, they tend to be a little bit timid or afraid to pick one of those offers, but yet 9 out of 10 buyers will write an offer just like that. And it's not appealing to the seller. So what you want to do is you want to shorten those time frames, and the way you do that is you got to move pretty quickly. Now, realistically, all you need is 7 days to really inspect the property. Okay, so you order your home inspection right away, you order your appraisal right away, your termite inspection right away, and if you knock everything out within 3 to 5 days, then you have an extra 2 days just to review any paperwork. You should know whether you're going to buy that property or not within the first week of writing up the offer. Now, if you write an offer like that, it really impresses the seller because it tells them that you're very serious, that you're going to be moving on it, and their home isn't going to be off the market for a long period of time. So they really like those type of offers, and that's what a lot of cash offers say within it, and that's what they offer the seller. Now, the other thing too is your loan contingency. Okay, there's loan contingencies, there's appraisal contingencies, and there's home inspection contingencies. You also need to remove you need to remove them pretty quickly. And actually, secret number 5, we'll talk about how to do that without jeopardizing the whole transaction, jeopardizing your deposit and the money that you spent. So again, sellers do not want to waste time with you, so they rather you remove your contingencies right away. That's secret number 3. All right. Now, secret number 4 is very crucial. Sending your offer within 24 hours of the property being listed, and with wet signatures. So a lot of you people that have been writing up offers, you've probably been using online version of something called DocuSign or electronic signatures. Now, you want to stay away from that if you don't know who you're dealing with, you don't know who the seller is or the seller's agent. Okay. Now, the reason why I say use wet signatures is because a lot of offers that come in, they're electronically signed. Now, when I see an offer that comes in and I look at it and I see an electronic signature, but then I see a wet signature on the next offer, I tend to think that those buyers might be a little bit more serious because they took more time. Okay, they take more time to come into their realtor's office or at their home and sign the offer. So that always looks a lot better when it has wet signatures. Now, the other thing about sending in the offer within 24 hours, you have a huge advantage if you're the first one to write up an offer or you send it right off the bat. Just because, if the seller's looking at offers the next day, or he or she is just choosing one of the first offers that comes in, then you're at an advantage. The other reason why you're at an advantage is because they're going to remember your offer because it's the first one that came in. So always try to beat your competition and go out and look at the property right away, and write the offer the same day if it's a home that you love. So again, that's a secret number 4. Now, stay tuned for the last video in this series. We'll discuss secret number 5, 6, and 7. As I mentioned before, secrets 6 and 7 are pretty mind-blowing, and those alone should win you the property. But again, as I mentioned, if you use all 7 secrets together, it's almost a no-brainer that the seller will choose you. If you'd like to order the report, we could email it to you or mail it to you, and all you have to do is call 619-300-9675, and that's if you don't want to wait until the next video is emailed to you. All right, well, thanks again. Voltaire Lepe signing off. Hi, and welcome back. Again, this is Voltaire Lepe, and thanks for checking out the 3rd video of this web series where we teach you how to beat out multiple buyers while paying less. And again, it's 7 secrets on how to do that. So we're down to our final 3 secrets, okay? So let's start off with secret number 5. Now, secret number 5 is to use a private direct lender when you submit an offer, okay? Now, this does a few things. First, if you don't know the difference between lenders, there's 3 types of lenders. There's a broker, okay, mortgage broker. There's a large direct lender, and there's a private, smaller direct lender. Now, the differences are pretty basic. A broker, as some of you may know, they go out somewhere and maybe to one of the larger banks, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, and they broker off the loan. So they get your application, they go to one of these other banks, and they basically give you a loan, and they charge you a brokerage fee. That's the only difference, really. Now, the difference between a large direct lender and the private direct lender is that the large direct lenders, they're FDIC insured, and they have a lot more hoops and regulations that you have to go through to get the loan. So it typically takes a little bit longer to get a loan compared to a private direct lender. They don't have to go through a lot of those hoops, and it's a lot faster. So the average closing time for a lot of private direct lenders are between 21 to 25 days to close a loan from beginning to end, where for example, some of the larger institutions average about 45 days to close a loan. So that 20-day period that the private direct lenders is faster than the larger one, that makes a huge difference in the seller's eyes. So your offer, it could be very, very competitive if you use this type of financing. Now, as far as fees and rates, they're pretty much the same, so you don't have to really worry about that. Now, the other thing too is the underwritten process is a little bit different. So for those of you guys that don't know who an underwriter is, it's most likely because you've never met them, and you never will meet the underwriter. And what happens is, with the larger institutional type lenders, the underwriter doesn't get into the picture and doesn't actually approve your loan until you're in escrow and you already chose a home that you're going to buy, and that's when the underwriter starts working. Now, the underwriter is the person that ultimately decides whether you're going to get the property or not. Now, with a private direct lender, the underwriter gets involved right off the bat. So basically what they do is they review all the files and they approve your loan. So if you start to look at homes, you're already underwritten approved with the private direct lenders compared to the large institutional type lenders. So there isn't actually any issues at all once you find a home. Now, once you find a home and you present that underwritten approval to the seller compared to a pre-qualification letter from a larger institutional type lender, then your offer stands out. It's a lot harder for the seller to not approve or choose your offer compared to other institutional type offers out there. So again, secret number 5 is use a private direct lender to do your loan. Okay, so the last 2 secrets that we've all been waiting for. Okay, so let's go with secret number 6. Okay, now secret number 6 is actually guaranteeing the seller that you're going to close the deal on time. Okay, so now a guarantee is something that I haven't seen out there anyone other than us offer a guarantee. Now, the way the guarantee works is it's usually your buyer's agent guarantees the seller's agent that the deal is going to close on time. Okay, but you could tweak it to where you actually guarantee the seller direct. There's different ways to do it, but this is how it works. Basically, a typical buyer, they write up an offer, their agent sends it over to the seller's agent, and the conversation might go something like this, where the buyer's agent calls the seller's agent and says, hey, I just faxed you over an offer or emailed it over to you, and my buyers are really good. I guarantee we're going to close this deal. Please choose our offer. Now, that's the typical conversation between agents. Now, when you do a guarantee, if it's an agent-to-agent guarantee, it goes something like this. Hey, we just submitted your offer and accept our offer because we guarantee that it's going to close on time, or else I'm going to give you part of my commission. So basically, with an agent-to-agent guarantee, the buyer's agent guarantees the seller's agent that the deal's going to close on time, or else they're going to forfeit some of their commission, which in the seller's agent's eyes, they think, well, this is a really good offer, number one. Number two, if they don't close on time, even if they close 1 day late, there's more money in my pocket. So that incentivizes the seller's agent to choose the best offer, which in this case happens to have a guarantee. Now, the other type of guarantee you could give is to the seller directly, to where if you don't close on time, you, the buyer, will pay an additional amount of money for the property, okay? Or there's some type of penalty if you don't close on time. So that really incentivizes the seller to choose your offer, which happens to have secrets 1 through 5 already, and which is already one of the strongest offers, even if the price isn't the highest. Okay, so that's secret number 6. Hopefully you guys use it, but again, you have to know how to word it and know how to write it up. Okay, so we're down to the last and final secret. Now, please remember, we use all of these secrets combined to write up one offer, and we do this every time for all our clients. And if you use them all together, you have a really good shot at beating out multiple buyers and possibly paying less for the property. Okay, so secret number 7 is personally hand deliver the offer to the seller or the seller's agent. Okay, now 99% of all offers, 99% of all offers are submitted via fax or email, which means the seller or the seller's agent never actually meet the buyer's agent or the buyers directly. Therefore, you're just another offer in the stack. Okay, so when we say personally and hand deliver the offer, what I mean by that is have your agent go to the other agent's office and hand deliver and present the offer to them and the seller if they can, and just basically find out a few things, talk about you, who you are. Now, hand delivering the offer does several things. Okay, the first thing is the seller's agent and the seller will never forget who you are. Okay, they'll never forget it, even if they have 100 other offers. We were in a situation one time where we represented a buyer, and there was 47 offers total, including ours. Okay, so we ended up beating out 46 other buyers. Our buyers paid $40,000 less than the rest of the offers that came in, and the reason is because we followed these 7 secrets and we personally delivered the offer. Now, that agent never forgot us. Called us immediately the next day and had a good conversation, report with us for the next few days until our offer was accepted. Now, so it does several things. Number 1 is they'll never forget us. Okay. Number 2 is we establish motivation to find out why is it that the seller is selling the property. Now, a lot of people, again, they feel that sellers choose the highest offer. Now, there's some sellers that choose the highest offer, but there's a lot of other sellers that choose lesser offers for different reasons, emotional reasons, connections with the buyer that they have, or just timing. Okay, they need to be out of there, as soon as possible, or they just want the most solid offer, and it's not always the highest. Okay, so once we establish motivation, the reason why the seller is selling, by asking questions that we can only ask in person and not over the phone or not via email, then that actually gives the buyer's agent and the buyers a huge advantage over the seller because we know their motivation. Okay, one quick example of that, we had a buyer that was competing with 16 other people. Okay, actually it was 15 other people because we're the 16th offer. And when we hand delivered it in person, we figured out the motivation really quick. The seller's husband had just passed away. She was an older lady. She was confused. She didn't know how the whole situation on selling went, and she never dealt with any of the finances. Lastly, she had a 4-bedroom home full of things, and she was the only one in the home. She didn't know how she was going to move out, where she was going to move to, because she wasn't tech savvy. She didn't know really how to navigate the internet and find a place to move into after she sold the home. So all these things we established when we first met the agent in person. We hand delivered the offer, and we found out her motivation. So I knew right off the bat that her motivation was not money. Okay, her motivation was security. She wanted to feel comfortable with the whole situation, and she needed help. So we tweaked our offer. We offered her less money than everyone else, but we made it to where she had extra time after we closed to move out, and my buyers were going to help her find a replacement property by simply printing out a list from Craigslist or different apartment sites where she could actually find a replacement home to live in. So with all those things combined, after finding out her motivation, we got the buyers a great deal. They beat out 15 other people, and they paid a lot less than those other buyers were willing to pay, just from finding out her motivation. Again, this is a very good tool, but it takes time. Okay, so if your agent has the time to do it for you, great. Most of the time they don't, just because most agents work on their own and they don't work on a team. Okay, so if you hire someone that has a team and they all work together, then it's a lot easier to present these offers in person. So I hope this helped. Again, you could call us at any time so we could give you the full report of all 7 techniques, just in case you missed the first 2 videos. And all you have to do is call 619-300-9675. We could answer any questions you may have, and we could send you the free report, absolutely free and no obligation. Okay, thank you. See you next time.